Good evening, Wisconsin Knights. How is everybody doing? Actually, we shouldn't deter people. If you're not in Wisconsin, you can definitely hang with us too. Learn about the madness that is trying to legalize a state that is way behind the times. Jill, right on time. Love it. Thanks for stopping by, Jill. Always appreciate your continued support. If you're stopping out tonight, make sure you let us know where you're coming in from. Across the bandwidths or the interwebs, whatever we want to call it. Always like to know where people are checking in from. Excuse me. With that, just wanted to touch base. Today's episode is going to be Waldo. What's up? Today's episode is going to be focused on questions to ask politicians that are going to be on the podcast next week. We're going to be shooting the footage at the Capitol, so it will not be live because it'll be during the day. But I want to make sure we get the questions from you folks. Obviously, let's keep them nice and no making fun of certain people for their shortcomings. But no, as a friendly reminder, shout out to all of our supporters. Waldo being one of them. Appreciate you guys. Almost done with what was it, Purple Punch? So we'll be trying the pancake flapjack next. Looking forward to that. The Dynavap is rocking. I've got that thing pretty well under control. Watch out. It's a game changer. I love it. Big shout out to Higher Love. Without them, the tonight's show wouldn't be possible, and all the run around the Capitol and everything as well. Greatly appreciate them being the sponsor of the podcast. And again, if you haven't got a chance to check those folks out in the UP, highly recommend it. If you think you found your spot, I still recommend giving them a shot. We got the promo code right above us here to make sure you get a good deal on that because they were friendly enough to offer that up as well. So shout out to Higher Love. Shout out to you guys. Let's start getting into some things here. We're going to try a little banner tonight. Let's see what this does. Comment questions to ask politicians next week. See if I can add a little flair this week. We'll leave the questions so people who are scrolling can see it. Also, I need to talk to A&W root beer. If you haven't had A&W zero sugar root beer, it's nice. It's beautiful. I might have a problem. But there's no caffeine. There's no sugars. There's like no nothing. I guess that is the worrying part is how do they really make it taste that good? But hey, we're in this thing together, so we'll figure it out. Have to try Princess Cut by Modus. Ooh, that sounds scrumptious. Excuse me. I'll add that to the list to try out. All right. So next week, we've got a meeting with a Republican representative. Oh, Concealed Carry. Yes. Perfect. Let's get that on here. Let me pull up a Google Drive so we can take some notes. We're going to label this document questions for politicians. Very good question. Waldo says, my question for them is about concealed carry. Will you be allowed to hold a permit if you had a medical card? I think that's something we should definitely check into. Hey, Randall, thanks for stopping by. Excuse me, hiccups now too. Shoot. All right, we're going to share a screen, make it so we can all see what's going on. Share screen. Yes, I'm sure. Let's go window. Share. Boom. So, question we've got is, I don't know if I should do numbered. Sure, why not? I'm actually going to see if it'll let me copy this. It won't. That's all right. I can't spell, so check my spelling here, folks. Will you be allowed to hold a permit if you have a medical card? And I'm going to word this because, like when we meet with Sortwell, he doesn't. I don't know if he. No Republican has backed Agard's bill yet. Oh, thank you. Hold a concealed carry permit. I'm looking at how you spell concealed. Don't judge me. Carry permit. So we're going to word this like, do you feel... Well, I'll know, but... Because like for Agard, I'm pretty sure it's in her bill. And if not, I'm going to ask her it that way. But for Sortwell, it might be a different approach. So This isn't the finalized draft. This is just so that I can finish it up, or might talk to the two different politicians in two different ways. But again, something I'm really looking forward to is we've got Senator Agard and Representative Brooks are going to be sitting down to do a podcast together. Somebody from each side of the aisle, which I think will be huge. So really looking forward to that as well. That won't be next week. We're going to do the solo meetings first. I think that'll just be a good way to kind of get cranking and test our setup in the Capitol. Should be interesting. I got this little camera. It's got some microphones. We'll see what happens. Josh is in the house. What's up, my man? Will the pills proposed in the pill bill be derived naturally, or will they be synthetic? The answer will have a huge bearing on who manufactures these pills. Good call. I like that. The answer will the pills proposed in the bill be derived naturally? Hey, what's up, Paul? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'm going to go copy your comment from Facebook here real quick. Oh, I'm probably going to get a little echo. Hear myself talking. That's weird, but it'll save me having to write this. Let's see. Am I live? Why don't I see the live on Facebook? You see it?
Can I see what?
You see the live?
Yeah.
Well, what is going on? Oh, here we go. We're just a little delayed. No, that's a different video. Let's try the old refresh. Yo, refresh. Paul. Who in the cannabis industry was consulted about development of the medical bill, and why wasn't a public hearing allowed? That is a great question. So to be fair, I'm looking mainly for questions for Agard and a gentleman who is pretty pro-cannabis and is a Republican. So when we met with Voss's aide last week, these are the kind of questions that were kind of like, well, we're not, blah, blah, blah. Basically all we really kept getting was we talked to Minnesota, and it was kind of interesting as far as any details. It was kind of pushed aside. So this is going to be a little more open-minded questions as far as the folks we're sitting down with are open to legalization in Agard, obviously, and then in Sortwell. He actually had done a debate. He was telling me it was a public debate. This was a couple years ago, but he was the pro-cannabis guy in the debate. So I think if we can utilize his time and his belief in cannabis to some certain degrees, let's get him to kind of open up where he stands on a few things, and then we're able to start asking other Republicans, hey, so this isn't just the side of the aisle thing. So Agard's bill does allow homegrown. It was 12 plants. I believe it was 12 plants. Be derived naturally or made. I do like that though, because when we're talking pills, either way, I think we need to know so we know that that's not. Oh, I like that. Who is holding Wisconsin back from legalizing the most? I love that. That's a great question, because I'd love to hear their take on that. Who or what? We'll play it that way, because maybe it is a what, even though it seems like a who. Who/what is holding back? That's a great question. Wisconsin. Ooh, and we're going to word this too nice. Who/what is holding back Wisconsin from joining the 41 other states and Washington, D.C. who have legalized? Love it. That's a great question. That should be good dialogue, good chat. If you guys had any idea how many times I spell legalize in a day and the percentage of times I spell it wrong. Okay, a lot of my spelling errors, though, to be fair, I know how to spell them, but my brain is so ADHD and Adderall, I'm prescribed Adderall, that like I just shorten the word or like skip ahead a letter, but then I make up just, all right, I'm trying. Mohike, what's up, man? What is an alternative product in the medical bill for those who cannot benefit from ingested THC? Ooh, good call. What? There we go. What is an alternative product in medical bill for those who cannot benefit from ingested THC because of liver enzyme levels? Great question. I like that. Cooking along at a steady rate. I'm really trying to catch some more too that are really open ended, or that could really just get some stories shined on something. Don says, "Is Lee Volkmir still in your house?" Let's find out. Or Leah, is that how you say it? Leah Volkmer. It looks like she was a former member of the Wisconsin Senate, so I don't believe she would be anymore. Nope. Okay. We won't say that one out loud. Ooh, there we go. This is good because I will look into a rough ballpark on this number too, because I'm assuming they won't know. So I will look up so that I'm prepared in case they don't know. How much tax revenue does Wisconsin stand to lose to other states that have adult responsible use? Okay, that one I just spelled terribly. I also need to make a header on here or I'll forget what we're doing. Just the way it goes sometimes. So next week it'll be Senator Agard and Representative Sortwell. Oh, there we go. You bet, Don. Thanks for stopping by. Let's all benefit from legalizing, Jose says. Let's go. People get to enjoy the benefits from it, and the state get their benefit money from it, right? And the jobs. Tons of jobs. Farmers, processing plants, stores. How do we get Wisconsin hemp farmers to support Senator Agard's bill? Great question. Does seem to be some hold up there. Wisconsin hemp farmers to support Senator Agard's bill. Ask Agard what state she has visited dispensaries in and what state's plans does she think works best and worst. Oh, my wife is a genius. She says, share the Google Doc with me.
You're sharing your screen.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh, okay. Off of there. And then we've got it linked up now, if I've got this correct. Deleted that. Cool. Does UW grow? They do. As far as I'm aware that they do grow. Because a gentleman I know, he helped with that program, is my understanding. But let's check in with that. And then we'll ask about the surrounding states as well. Does UW grow cannabis? Have you had a chance to look into the program? Is there certain states that you feel have done a better job of legalizing than others? If so, why? Great idea. That's what it was. Soil remediation research. Correct. That's what it was. I had a couple questions. Oh man, give me a second here. Should have wrote them down. Would you consider legalizing silic? Every time I see it, I can't say it. Do you know that word? Psilocybin. Thank you. Jeepers. Here, I know I wrote these down somewhere. Let me pull up my list quick. It's not that one. Let's get our banner on here. There we go. I think it'd be interesting to see, to make sure if they were. I think Agard's bill was for 21 plus. I'd like to ask Sortwell if he believes that it should be 21 plus. If there should be an age restriction on use. I think that'd be a good one to just double check with. I know there've been a couple studies that possibly recommend 25. Sedatives. Cannabis. Here it was. Here we go. I'll drop this one over there. Here's a question ahead. Can you share your thoughts on how legalizing cannabis could impact Wisconsin's economy, especially in terms of job creation and tax revenue? I think that's a good one. Oh, why is it like not letting me? What happened? There we go. Paste. Whoop. Paste from Google Keep. We've got why only 5 dispensaries. That's a whole different. We kind of got a half answer on that. Again, the folks we're going to be meeting with are looking for better than what medical plan is out there that has been established, even though, like, even Sortwell, who's a Republican. So that is the good news. Here was another one. What are your views on the public health implications of legalizing cannabis, including potential benefits and concerns? Get that over here. What else did I have? This is when I was trying to sound really good the other day. How do you believe the legalization of cannabis could contribute to criminal justice reform, particularly in addressing the disproportionate impact on communities of color? Paste without formatting. What effect will legalization have on alcohol consumption in Wisconsin? And do you think it will lessen the opioid crisis? Perfect question. I had one on opioid. Let's see if we can combine those. Oh, yeah. I'll just follow it up with, I just had on here. Do you see cannabis legalization as a potential tool in harm reduction strategies for opioid crisis? Actually, no, I like how that's worded. Actually, we're going to change just the second part. All right. Love it. Love it. What else do we have over here? Dang, microphone's in the way. Oh, yeah, here we go. This one I wanted to get the farmers involved. So the question I had was, considering Wisconsin's strong agricultural sector, how could legal cannabis cultivation benefit local farmers and rural communities? That'll be a good one. Nope, I think I saw something else pop up. I agree with that, Christy, for sure. I agree with that. What else do we have here? What's your stance on? Oh, here we go. I wanted to have one on PTSD. So I will drop this one in here, which is what is your stance on providing veterans with access to cannabis as an alternative treatment option for PTSD and chronic pain? Well, that's a good question. I like that, Waldo. Are you able to copy that one?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll make sure we get that one on there. I think alt cannabinoids would be great to know what the plan is with that. I thought I had a couple more here. I think it was a different post-it notes here. Oh yeah. Here we go. Law enforcement. Let me pull that so I can actually read it because it's so small over here. How do you believe legalizing cannabis will affect law enforcement priorities and resources in Wisconsin? And what changes do you anticipate in policing practices? I think that'd be great to hear a take on. I thought I had something for mental health. Oh, yep, hemp industry. We had touched on that one from Waldo. Oh, here we go. Gonna drop this one. This is for local government. Question I'd had was get this pasted. Should local governments in Wisconsin have the autonomy to enact their own cannabis policies, or do you believe there should be a uniform statewide policy? Obviously, I'm hoping that it's statewide, but I know there's been some talks that it might not be able to work that way. Ooh, good question, Waldo. On the Supreme Court ruling. Stance on that. Here was the last one I had. Oh no, I had two more. One is paste here. How important do you think it is to expunge or reconsider past cannabis-related convictions in light of potential legalization, and what would that process look like? And then I had one about public consumption. Let me copy that and paste. Which was, what is your stance on public consumption spaces for cannabis, similar to bars for alcohol in terms of community safety and public health? Now the questions are on you guys. So that's pretty much everything I had that you guys hadn't brought up just yet. Again, we'll be meeting with Senator Agard next week and Representative Sortwell. Be down there Wednesday to meet with those folks, get this podcast rolling in the Capitol. Be a little slightly intimidating, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Will government employees be allowed to have THC in their systems as full legalization occurs, or will it still be at will employment? Solid. I like that. Get that on here. Oop, what did I spell wrong here? Oh yeah, this is my thing. What you consider legalizing? All right, I got that. Medical personal AA well. What about medical personal AA well? Medical personal AA well. Might need to help me out there.
As well. The one there,
Oh,
number 23.
what about medical personal as well? 23. Why can't I get to 23? Oh, she's got it. Sweet. Will THC products have to be manufactured within state lines? I think that's a good question. Like that. Oh yeah, will insurance cover it? That's a good question. I'll be able to kind of clean these up because again, I kind of want to pitch these like I don't know if he'll know that for sure, but so I'll just ask him like, do you feel that in a truly fair medical setting that medical cannabis should be covered under insurance? Medical staff as well allowed to use cannabis. Oh, sure. Well, government employees and or medical. I know that is one of the things that drives me nuts as well. That doctors who know most of the great uses of cannabis can't test positive for ever using it, which is kind of silly. Well, it's not even kind of silly. It's just wrong. Just double checking my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything here. On my notes. Ooh, there you go. What tools do you have to determine if someone's under the influence of THC when operating a vehicle? Great question. Great question. I saw there was there was an article published last week about a tool that was able to tell within the last 30 minutes. It had a 96% success rate. I'd be interested to learn a little more about that. I put it on my tracker to check back in a month or two because it was kind of just more of like, hey, this is a thing, but it didn't sound like it was being used a ton yet. So definitely would be neat to see where the status of that is here in the coming months. I wanted to see, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just looking up Representative Sortwell's bills that he's authored real quick here. See if there's anything else. I know he is very Second Amendment loud, so I will definitely make sure we ask those questions there. Man, there's a lot of little text. I need like reading glasses. Religious exemption. It's a great question. That's a good point, Paul. If you got tested for, if you're at a concert and then you get tested, could probably pop for secondhand. Just with the amount of consumption going on. All right. And let me just put that date on there so I don't forget. That is on the 14th. Is that Valentine's Day? February 14th? It's February 14th, Valentine's Day. I'm going to have to come back that night then. I got to see my baby. I got to see my wifey on Valentine's Day. Do you think the government will place patents on cannabis or control THC levels? Good point. So far, they have no way to distinguish impairment versus intoxicated. So, long time heavier users will have issues. Roger. That's what it sounds like, unfortunately. Oh, and there we go. I was hoping to get to like 40 because I figured I'd have to window these down a few because I'll be sending them to them ahead of time just so that their aides can touch up if there's anything that they're not comfortable answering or anything that I didn't word properly. And Ash Wednesday. Oh, yeah. There you go. I'll make that note on Ash Wednesday. think we got a good list of questions here. Responsible use. Should there be an age restriction? Type 1 versus type 5. Got that. And then also, if you're watching this, if you're watching this after it's aired, please drop your questions in here. We'll be able to add that to the list. I'll actually probably make a post too. Who is the biggest opponent holding up legalization in government corporations? Let me reword this question a little more for that. Who/what? Corporation. Government. Etc. Chrissy, I think you might be onto something there. I'm thinking Miller Lite might be part of the problem. I know they were a problem with craft breweries. That could be interesting. Was it somebody just put a pretty big stake into cannabis drinks? I don't know that it was them though. I got so many post-it notes. It's on one of them somewhere. Miller Lite. Cannabis drink. Molson Coolers 3 years ago started launching cannabis infused beverage line. Wait, didn't they get bought not too long ago by? Let me just see. These might have been CBD. Oh no, most of these have THC in them. 2.5 to 10 milligrams. So yes, that's somewhat of a start. All right. Anybody got anything else they can think of? Again, you can stop back and add them. I'll probably throw a post out tomorrow just to get to the people who don't have a chance to hop on here to watch. But definitely looking forward to sitting down and talking to people and getting it on record as far as their stance. Obviously, I think AGARD will be a great support. But it'll be good to see where some of the Republicans stand as well. So really looking forward to that. Reminder about Lebowski Fest. Honey, your clipboard is old. It is now the 16th of February. Sorry about that. I didn't catch that. You can also take off. Hang on. Where's your clipboard? Clipboard. Clipboard. Wasn't it podcast clipboard? There we go. So we can go to here. Cool. Now it's good to go. Sorry about that. I forgot to update that. That's my bad. So yes, again, reminder, February 16th, 5 to 9 over here in Green Bay at the Meyer Theater. Looking forward to getting a chance to meet with you folks. Have a little fun, talk a little talk, drink a little drink. Going to work on getting cannabis syrups there so that we're able to infuse our drinks, being that they are only able to apparently sell what is brought to them by a verified distributor, which there's not cannabis. Because that's how that works. So, but no, really looking forward to, and I might even try doing a little bit of stand up. We'll see. I've been hemming and hawing about that for a while, and if it doesn't go well, we can just blame it on the Dynavap ahead of time. So, you might see me up there talking a little talk, seeing what we can do for damage up there. Let's see here. I can't afford it. Wish I could go, but always working. I hear that, Paul. Why all the pushback? The revenue along is inviting, right? You would think so. Many gray areas the federal farm bill doesn't address, right? Exactly. Hey, sounds good, Paul. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Man, I can't really think of anything else at the moment. I know I'm missing like 100 things, but kind of just gotta let the brain rest here. I think after we got all these questions together, because now I'm still trying to answer most of these in my head too, or try to figure out what they're gonna say. So I'm ready to dive a little deeper into the context and whatnot. Toll free legislators hotline. Hey, there we go. Appreciate that, Josh. 800-362-9472. Hey, appreciate that, Waldo. I might be able to swing by next week on my way down. What time do you guys open down there? Waldo. Where's Waldo? Oh yeah, how do I do the spacing in between these again? Hey, there we go. Cool. Noonish, usually by 10 a.m. Right on. There ain't nothing up in that head anyway. Hey, Don, watch it. Watch it, Don. I'm gonna come to Wausau at some point. I'm not gonna have to go to Madison, and I'm gonna be able to swing out that way. North of Milwaukee. Todd, the Tavern League is not lobbying against legalization. They actually have board members who are growing hemp and sell hemp. They are ready for full legalization. In fact, I was told that the president or the vice president will be willing to hop on a podcast that they're going to be letting us know here as they know more. Waldo, if you need taste testers, send stuff my way. Since it's got at least 70% approval rating in the state, why don't they just put a vote to the people? I'm going to ask that one more time. Is there a way to use the voice of the people? I know there's not a, like, we can't vote to make it law, but can't they still ask us? And if the majority approves it, which we know it's going to, I don't know. It's just stupid that it can't be that way. So I'm going to figure out a way to ask that. And I don't know. It just drives me nuts. Ask Agard whether she prefers edibles, joints, or her bong. I'll see how we're doing. I'll see how we're feeling, how the vibe is. We'll see. She's an awesome lady. I just don't know if she'll be ready for that one. So basically, it's Voss being the gatekeeper. It definitely feels that way, especially when, like I said, there's Republicans who we'll actually have on here who agree that his bill is way too strict. So it's definitely not just all Republicans thinking that way, which is good to hear. And will she smoke one with you off camera? I could ask her that. I might have to ask her off camera. I don't know if I'll have the cojones to ask her that. I don't know why. It just, especially, I don't know, just asking in the Capitol, it seems a little intimidating on my end for some reason. Could the governor legalize only possession, not the sales without approval? Just curious. That is a good question. Josh says, I'll ask. There you go. Shout out to Josh. He's been a huge help here. Keeping the mind right, being able to bounce ideas off of. Took a trip with me down to Madison. Got to meet with Voss's aide. It's neat. Pretty cool. Could the governor decriminalize, essentially, via executive order? There we go. I'm sure much worse things have happened in the Capitol. Yeah, it's a good point. Very good point. I wonder what would happen if Josh, I don't remember seeing a sign inside that said no smoking. And if it's hemp, it's legal. Maybe we just got to bring some THCA pre-rolls, meet up in the top floor of the gallery. Could probably get a lot of folks to smile around there. Bring cookies and give her a couple. There you go. Josh asking with a giant bong. There you go. I do believe that counties can basically go around the state legislation for penalties. I just don't know how much. Yeah, there's a lot of towns that or counties, thankfully, that have deep, put it at like $1 or $50 fine, so on and so forth. Don, THCA, because that's the legal term for carrying cannabis that would otherwise be considered illegal in Wisconsin. It's a whole thing. But if you have a legit shop near you, check out their THCA flower. There's no difference between that and Michigan. For the most part, there is still some strains that would qualify as too hot for Wisconsin. So if you're on that super high dose, but I would say probably half of what you buy in Michigan could legally be sold in Wisconsin, called THCA flower. Oh, Tammy, I'll let you know on the backwoods or the bargain or the basement stuff. I'm getting to it. I got way too much. I try to finish up the bag that I opened before it goes bad, and it was a big bag, so I got yours on deck. Appreciate that. I got a chance to meet up with Tammy, that was this week. Holy shit. I got to meet up down by Mims in Appleton. So was looking forward to that burger. Next time I'm going to be able to stay for lunch, I promise. Tuesdays, right? I think that's when you go. I'm going to have to put that on there. Put a little reminder so one day I'm there. Got to make that happen. Oh, yep. Waldo sells THC cookie kits. Love it. Paul, are you going to dress as Big Lebowski for the interview? That's not a terrible idea. Might I don't know. I've done crazier things. Little taste of Colorado. Let's go. All right, guys. Well, let's keep tonight's episode a little shorter. We got a lot of questions on here. A lot of stuff I'm going to kind of chop up, add to, subtract, delete, add, re-add. Because like I do with everything, I like to overthink. It's just part of the game. Will legalization allow for... Ooh, I love that. Delivery like in Colorado. Great question. Great question. Are you typing? She says I can hear her typing, but I don't see anything popping up on the screen. Maybe that... Hey, you bet, Tammy. Thank you. Sorry again about the sweater mishap as far as hoodie, non-hoodie. The folks we got now seem to really have that unlocked, so hopefully we're good. Oh, there's the wife's got it. Will legalization allow for delivery like they do in California? And again, if you guys think of any more, if you can drop them in the comments here. Otherwise, tomorrow again, I'll put up a post and we'll make sure we get some more questions and get as many as we can. So, yeah, I saw that too, Todd. Hey, they're talking to us, and we're going to be getting them on the record here with the podcast. So we're doing what we can. We're going to be able to get to the bottom of it. Might take a little bit of time, but even if we're the 50th state, it's going to happen. So all we can do is keep working on educating. And again, it was really surprising when I was told by multiple people the biggest issue they have at the state capitol is they have no education on cannabis. There's nobody there to talk to them about cannabis. And they get lots of calls from their constituents. So hopefully being able to continue to go down there now that I got the lobbying license will definitely be a good thing. We're just going to keep trying to educate, and just keep opening the doors. I'll open as many as it takes, and we will figure it out. I promise you that. So appreciate everyone's support. Go spend a little time with your family. We'll be back at this Friday. We got a couple of guests that are possibly going to be appearing, not all at once. That would be a lot. One day we'll have to try 3 people and just see what happens on here. I'm sure I'll find a way to make that interesting. As far as my technologically inclined skills go, might have to make that happen. But Paul, thanks again for stopping out. Jill, everybody, appreciate you guys. Mohican, Waldo, Josh, Don, Todd, whoever else is here. Don and Wabsa, who makes fun of me all the time. I love you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you guys later. Keep token low and slow.